So if you like dogs, this is great. If you don't like dogs, sorry about the dog. But look, this video is about tent testing and why it's actually so important. And it's so important for a number of reasons. First of all, a lot of manufacturers actually don't do it. And we've recently seen a couple of videos online of a particular tent, and it's not really performing as a lot of people would have expected. And the problem is, here now in the UK, whether it's climate change or whatever it is, you know, I'm sitting here at the coast. It's April and it's pretty much 40-mile-an-hour winds. So it is really important, in my opinion, that you know that somebody's out there actually giving you evidence-based data in respect of the limitations of a particular tent. So this is a Scarp 1 Ultra. It's not totally about this tent, but it's to let you see how this tent is performing in this 40-mile-an-hour wind. So let's have a look here at how I set the tent up. So first of all, I've got the poles ready, because if you have any issues, you want to be able to get the poles onto the tent very, very quickly to give it its support structure. So first of all, I just pegged the tent out on the windward side, making sure that the pegs were really, really well in. And then following on through, I threaded through the arch pole. And at this point, I'm making sure that the pole actually doesn't stand, that it actually stays low. Once the pole's threaded, it's a matter of popping it into the little pockets and then pulling the tent out from the other end. Making sure then that the pegs are really secure, and that's a tent pretty much up. And just going around and checking the tension, and no real issues. So now I'm sort of attaching the crossing poles. So it's been a bit of a challenge for me here today, actually, because the tide is coming in and there's some spray coming up and splashing the camera. So I'm just going to come out now and check the camera lens. The winds you're looking at now, I measured it at 36 miles per hour, so safe to say in and around 40 miles per hour, and gusts would probably be, you know, in and around 45. I'm not using this as a promotional video for some of my other clips, but if you're interested in seeing how some tents perform in measured conditions and challenging conditions, you know, I've quite a few other videos up where I actually do further wind testing, because, as I said before, I do believe that this is really important. Alright, so I hope you don't mind. I've edited a bit in here to this video. It is from my back garden. I don't like doing back garden reviews. Haven't done one since COVID. But then I do have the opportunity and the locations where I can review tents from. But look, there's a current debate on YouTube. The current debate is regarding YouTube influencers like myself testing tents in high winds. Okay, so you'll not be able to read this. In fact, I wrote it out about 10 minutes ago. I can hardly actually read it myself, but I'm going to read it out, because what I want to say is I need to be very careful with my wording choice, and I want to make sure that what I say sort of comes out right. So here we sort of go, and I hope you don't mind. Right, so I'm adding in here some further points about why that I feel that it's important for YouTube influencers to actually wind test tents as part of their reviews. The industry is very unregulated regarding what constitutes a 3 or 4 season tent, and this leaves it open for manufacturers to upsell some performance characteristics regarding their tents, you know, for example, how strong they are. Right, so I could actually get used to this back garden filming, because I've just had a mic issue and a camera issue, and I've been able to sort them out really easy. But look, where was I? I think I was sort of talking about, you know, we want to really show with evidence the performance limits of a particular tent, so that you, the viewer, then can make an informed decision on whether the tent will actually suit your needs. Okay, so the actual testing of tents by manufacturers has resulted recently, or sorry, the lack of testing, I should say, by manufacturers has resulted recently in 2 YouTube influencers having to bail from a camp. Okay, the conditions were actually typical UK, certainly in my opinion, nothing extreme. And it's not even winter at the moment, you know, and I'm sure, to be honest, they were both a little bit disappointed with the tent's performance. So at the end of the day, someone has to make an effort and actually test the tents. But what are the limits, you know, and what should they test to? Well, do you know what? I actually respect the choices of other influencers on YouTube and what they decide they want to do. But typical UK, certainly in my opinion, would be 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. Hilleberg tests some of their tents up to 70 miles an hour in controlled conditions. So this then, I am comfortable with testing tents up to that sort of speed. But it's up to, as I said, other influencers to decide what they want to do for their channel. And finally, I've made mistakes in respect of overestimating and underestimating tent performance. So evidence-based testing, I feel, is important, for my channel anyway, for integrity of the channel itself. So I'm trying to just... So I think I've maybe got a bit of salt on me from the sea, and that's why the dog is continuing to try and lick me. But look, thank you very much for watching the video. I'd hope maybe that I could bring it to you a little bit windier than this. But, as I said, it is kind of sort of heading towards summertime here in the UK, and 40 mile an hour winds is windy enough. And certainly, this Scarp 1 Ultra is performing extremely well.